Rahsaana?
No, Shanjan.
Huh?
Shanjan.
Shanjan?
Yes.
Okay.
Ready? Okay, we're already started.
Hello, Maeya TV. We're here with Shanjan.
Yes.
She's a model and a poet.
Yes.
Thank you so much for coming. It's great to have you here.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
So, tell us about the work that you're doing.
The work that I'm doing, I'm doing a few things. I started this. I started modeling maybe about a year ago, and it started from going on like backstage outcasting and being picked up by different modeling agencies or modeling jobs. And I've since then I've done a fashion show in Chicago. I've done a pageant, the international pageant, with Thumbelina Productions. I have been featured in a video. I have been in the film that's upcoming. And I also have a project coming up this month, actually. I was going to say next month, thinking it was March, but this month I have a project coming up in New York. It's for a psychedelic fashion magazine with a former high fashion model named Levy Paul. And I'm very excited about that. We have great sponsorship, and we will be having several events for that.
Yeah.
And I'm excited about that to get more experience. I've worked with a few artists that either are still doing runway or formerly did runway.
Yeah, tell us about this magazine.
About what?
About the magazine that you'll be working with.
It's a high fashion magazine, and we're just kind of getting into it. He knows more than we do. We're just, we've been cast and for the project, and he's very creative and very experienced. He's worked with lots of high fashion people like Paul Mitchell and some other people that I can't remember right now. But I'm very excited about that. I'm very excited about the experience, and yeah, we'll be on our way. It'll be an all summer thing.
Yeah. So tell us, how did you get involved in this project?
In this project, I was in a pageant with Thumbelina Productions. It's an international pageant. And so from there, I met May, and she asked for me to be in her film. So that's how I got here, and she's great. Everyone here is great. And I'm just very excited about that. I'm excited about this interview. And, I look forward to more. I look forward to more scenes in the movies or in the cinemas, and just more experience. It's been very exciting.
Are there any designers that you would like to model for?
I'm not very picky. Contrary to the belief of most, like people like to shop. I'm not a shopper, but I do like certain brands. Like I like Aldo shoes. I like just whatever looks good. So it's hard for me to find clothing that fits my curves the right way. And so I may go to a particular size, and then because it's not shaped in a curvy way, because my body's like a Coca-Cola. So any designer that fits my body style and the clothes are nice, I'm good with that.
I love what you're wearing right now.
Thank you.
The colors really pop.
Thank you. I've been told to be more colorful, so I'm trying.
It looks great.
Thank you.
Now, in addition to modeling, you're also a poet.
I am. I've been writing is actually my biggest passion. I've been writing since, I want to say I've been doing poetry since like 4 or 5, because I was already reading. And so I didn't know that it was poetry, like, roses are red, violets are blue. And so at 4 and 5, I was taking those lyrics and just switching them around. And as I got older, and then like I'm in like third grade, and we're learning poetry. And I didn't know I already knew it, but I'm like learning different styles, and it was exciting. I got entered in a contest. It's something I've just always been passionate about. It's my number one art of expression.
Now, you have a book of poetry that has come out.
Yes, my business partner, Juan Lopez, known as Crazy the Real One, him and I have a poetry book. It's called More Mature Message. It's a poetic hip hop journey. It can be found on Barnes and Noble and Amazon. So I met Juan through Facebook. We were on Facebook poetry groups, and Juan kind of picked me up from the poetry group, like, let's do a book. I do 10, you do 10, and we end up talking so much that we developed a relationship, and we're really close friends today. So that book ended up taking like 2-3 years before we actually released it. And so it's a really good project. It kind of follows our journey, and so that's kind of why it's, journey through poetic hip hop poetry.
So what were your influences as you wrote that book?
As I wrote that book, my greatest influence is always my granny. She passed when I was 15, so she was my best friend. I haven't had a better friend. My granny and I were just like, I could tell her anything. So she inspired me to always be better, to always, whatever I'm talented in, to, just be confident in those talents and pursue those talents. She taught me how to read. She taught me how to protect myself, different things. She taught me spiritual things. And she is always my inspiration. Like, no matter what I'm doing, when I went to school and I got my master's, she was my inspiration. And of course, my children. But as far as like from the beginning, like, she's been my inspiration, and even today.
Now, you described your book as poetic hip hop. What does that mean?
So, poetry. So my experience with poetry is it's usually very I don't want to say plain, but it's just like it's a beautiful poem where it's this. So poetic hip hop is like, so you hear rap music or hip hop music, and it has a certain flow. It's talking about the streets. It's talking about love. It's talking about all these different things. And so that's kind of, and it's street talk. So our book has a lot of street talk in it. Not all of it, but like most of it. Most of it has a lot of street talk in it, but it's a lot of talk about spiritual things like God and things like that. So it's kind of a mixture, but the vibe of it is definitely hip hop.
So what was the process of collaborating on this book like?
Just like I said, meeting on Facebook, and he liked my poems, I liked his, and we decided to do a book. There was delays because things were happening in life, and COVID happened, and so it took longer than we expected. But, we got it done. And we got it done because we stayed friends, or we became friends and stayed friends, like true friends till today. And so, it was getting the poems together and going from him writing 10 and I writing 10 to, okay, I like what you wrote. I want to respond to that. And so it became a collaboration. Most of the book we're collabing. Like, I wrote something and he responded, or he wrote something, I responded. And that's mostly what the book is. And it kind of tells our story of friendship and some of the things we were going through during that time. And some we were just writing. But I can write all day.
So then, what goes into writing poetry, especially writing a lot of poetry for a book like this? Because I think people who don't know about it, like, oh, these are like poems are short, they don't take that much time to write, but I know a lot of effort goes into them.
Right. Well, sometimes most of my poems I write in like 5 or 10 minutes because it comes from inspiration. For instance, being that my mom's in Illinois, right? She lives on in front of a river, so there's like no people really except us and like the neighbors, and it's really quiet. And so some of my writing came from just sitting there, not doing anything, and then I just have my thoughts. And so whatever my thoughts are, and whenever the inspiration comes, which is usually at night, and then I just write, and I kept writing because I was there for a little while, and so I kept writing. Also, healing with my family during that time, so I wrote about some of those things. Some of those things might be in the book. I can't remember for sure, but it just depends. It can be happiness can inspire me, sadness can inspire me, my spirit can inspire me. It just all depends. But it's being able. It's just an artistic gift. Just like kind of people that sing or people that play instruments. So it's if sometimes I'm thinking something, like I may think one sentence and then the next sentence I think it's rhyming, and so I can do a whole thing in my head and then I write it down, or I write it down as it comes.
So are there any poets or other artists who have inspired your work?
Maya Angelou for sure. And she's also an inspiration till today. There's a lot. So like as far as the hip hop side of it, so I recall like rap like from a long time ago, like when Sugar Hill Gang. And I wasn't really into Sugar Hill Gang because it just sounded and I much respect to them, but it didn't get me as a kid. Like I didn't, get it. But I think my first hip hop inspiration was Slick Rick. And I don't know if you're familiar, but Slick Rick was one of the first hip hop artists that actually inspired me. Like I felt excited because he was actually telling a story, and he was using, a good vocabulary. And for me, that was everything because my vocabulary was enhanced since I was like 5. So like first grade, I was in 5th grade reading level. So vocabulary means a lot to me. And so hearing vocabulary and he's rhyming, and it wasn't like a whole lot of music, it was almost like a cappella. And so that definitely inspired me.
Now, where can our viewers find out more about you and your work?
I'm on Instagram as Sean John, is SAANJOHN. I'm also on TikTok with the same name, SAANJOHN.
And then, do you have any words of advice to people who are new to poetry and don't really know how to write?
The advice I would give to any new poets is, if you feel like you have that gift, then use it. Allow your inspiration to be your guide. And if you're a poet that wants to have a rhyming syllable at the end, just kind of practice that in your head. Like do the first line, and then the second line, think of something that's going to rhyme with the line before that. And the more you do it, the better you get. And really, it's just inspiration and a gift. So that's what I have to say about that.
And then how can our viewers find out more about your modeling? Also about the magazine that you're working with?
So Psychedelic Fashion Magazine, they're on Instagram. And I'm also on Instagram. So you can find out about me and the magazine launch also on my Instagram, SAANJOHN.
And they're based in New York, right?
Yes.
Yeah, our New York viewers, keep an eye out for that.
Yes.
And you're going to have a lot of events for that?
Yes, we have an event in April, June, July, and August. And more to come. So it's an ongoing project. So it's going to be exciting.
Sounds really fun. So
Thank
keep
you.
an eye out for that, viewers. Well, thank you so much for watching. Jessica Haro,
Sean John.
And see you next time.
Bye bye.